I really do not think there ever was more of a perfect representation of what happened at AmFest than this clip right here. As of course, the infighting was pretty prevalent, but according to Tim Dillon, it's all one big show and spectacle. Now, I like Tim. I like listening to Tim, but I think he is absolutely wrong. I'm going to be sharing some of my own personal experiences at AmFest, as of course I was there. I was live, doing a lot of podcasts, doing a lot of shows, doing a lot of reactions to some of the kind of more bewildering aspects of the conference, as I have a little bit of a more nuanced take on this particular matter that I think is worth looking into and investigating from a more critical perspective and point of view. As right now, Robert Barnes, the Quartering, Tim Pool, Benny Johnson are all firing back against Tim Dillon, who I think said a couple right things, but overall just wrong. We'll tell you why in this particular video, as well as playing the rest of this clip, which is absolutely hilarious here, as I think it definitely is representative of the movement, where it goes, what happened next here, especially after all of the simmering crazy drama that has been unfolding internally inside of it regarding Candace Owens, that looks like has kind of backed off of some of her claims against Egyptian planes and TPUSA. We'll get into all of it. It's a convoluted type of story here. And if you appreciate these types of conversations and like to know my own personal perspective and experiences from this event, subscribe. Click the notification button. We greatly appreciate everyone here on this brand new channel. Now, I just want to get back here because here's Michael Knowles here. All right. Steve Bannon going against Ben Shapiro. Little Ben getting thrown to the side there. Pretty viciously. A woman propaganda. I was there when that guy came in, and it was at the James O'Keefe party. I literally walked in, and then he brought his own big security guard, and he ended up slapping someone back after going back at Kevin Smith, the guy who slapped him at the Young Republicans event. And I'm like, that is just ridiculous. Fresh and Fit here. Oh, no, got him. They caught Fresh and Fit. Security is getting them out of the building. There was a lot of fake news surrounding that. I saw Fresh and I saw Fit afterwards. There was a miscommunication with Fit based on his name and security. And they let Fit go. Fit never was kicked out. Fresh was kicked out temporarily. Then they brought Fresh back in. Tucker Carlson's like, let's go. And then Benny Boy returns. And oh no, Benny tries to stab Megyn Kelly from the back with a sneak shot. And that was not cool. Megyn Kelly was like, I thought I was your friend. And you just like do this to me in front of everybody else. Megyn Kelly clapped back. James O'Keefe there was warning about the policia, and the TPUSA staff was like, whoa, boy. That was a big old event. I love that clip. And now, of course, we have Tim Dillon saying it's a bad reality show. It's all scripted. It's all. And I'm like, listen, I totally disagree here with this take here. Robert Barnes, I think, has the more kind of sane take on it, saying what Dillon misses is that TPUSA has always been optimistic, upbeat, and fun. Their ability to keep the energy after suffering the terrible loss of Charlie is to their inestimable credit. Yeah, they faced a lot of scrutiny, a lot of pressure, a lot of people breathing and looking down their necks, demanding stuff and accusing them of stuff. And overall, 30,000 people showed up. Huge attendance. Vast majority of it, of course, you have your drama. Vast majority of it, positive. People that were very happy to see me, see other content creators. It was great to meet a lot of you guys, meet a lot of the fans, be able to hang out with other kind of content creators, see where they're at. I went to a lot of the parties, didn't drink on any of them. And a lot of people were getting drunk, and this is where they kind of try to compromise people too. That's where the assets send in their like little honeypots. I'm like, I ain't falling for any of that. You got to be super careful, and that's why you just got to stay away from booze. A lot of people hurt themselves with booze here. But regardless of that, overall, after being at this kind of conference, I feel kind of optimistic a little bit. I feel a little bit hopeful. Seeing 30,000 people from all walks of life, seeing all of them happy, positive, seeing so much support, having so much people be like, yes, we watch, we support, we got your back, we like what you're doing. Not one negative interaction throughout the entire type of stay there. And TPUSA, even though I kind of feel, a little off about the kind of showmanship here, but that's what they kind of got to walk a fine line here with what Charlie wanted, what Charlie was doing, keeping up his legacy. But according to Tim Dillon, he has a little bit of more of a negative Nancy take here. Let's play some of his take here and respond to it.
This turning point kind of abomination that the right wing of this country has.
Is it an abomination? No, it's the right wing most prominent, biggest conference, right? Now, again, you could say the right wing is an abomination, especially if you're watching it from the outside in. But if you're at these events, they're actually extremely successful, big events that are pulled off with staff working incredibly hard to make it the best event in the entire political arena. There's nothing else compared to it in the political arena. CPAC isn't that good. TPUSA, incredible to the jobs that they do, motivating, organizing, rallying people, right? And this is a big rally, a big fluffer fest, sure. But if you're looking from the outside in, you're like, bad. You're there, you're like, wow, this is tremendous. This is incredible. And it's something that is a site that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Charlie. And you can see TPUSA trying to continue that type of showmanship. As Erika Kirk even brought up how he specifically wanted the bass and the tremble and the show and the lasers and the fireworks. He wanted that. And I think that's why Erika Kirk, and again, some people might not like it, dressed up in a shiny suit. She had the fireworks. She came out and she gave her speech. And she talked about, listen, people could disagree. We'll talk to each other. And then Benny started a whole bunch of drama. Anyway, we'll get into that in a little bit here. But before playing the rest of this clip, just quickly wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop. We got a lot of great supplements available to you that I've been taking. And listen, a lot of people were sick at TPUSA. A lot of people were dealing with some kind of TPUSA flu or whatever it was. Everyone was just getting sick the next day. I haven't been. You know why? Because I'm taking my vitamin D and my vitamin C from wearechange.shop. My products, I take them. I trust them. The vitamin D, I think, has been making the biggest gains in my life. My sleep schedule just skyrocketed. It was like 70s, 80s. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I get this right? And I'm like, whatever. I just waited until my good formula with K2, with extra virgin olive oil, healthy fats. You need to take vitamin D with fat. You need to make sure your magnesium levels are good. You need to make sure your gut is good to take vitamin D levels. And then, boom, look at that. 94, baby. 94 sleep score. Which I'm incredibly proud of. And I think it's predominantly because of vitamin D. Lots of people have very low vitamin D levels and they get sick. Vitamin C, also a great way. If you feel like you're getting sick, you take some, boom. Now, you go on airplanes, people are sneezing, coughing, people at TPS say, and they're like, shake my hand. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. Lots of other influencers were sick too, and they still decided to show up. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're getting all these other people sick. And they're hugging everyone. I'm like, you're sick. Stay home. Stop getting other people sick. No, I'm like, oh, and I'm like, you dummy. I can name one. I was like, get away from me. You. I don't know. Take my hand. Take my hand. Take my hand. Like, give me a hug. I'm like, get away from me. The best way to fight that, have a good immune system. Don't worry, don't stress. Vitamin D, vitamin C available on wearechange.shop. Get it right now. The worst thing you can do is get sick and then not be able to go to these gatherings, not meet your friends, not meet your family. And if you are sick and you're getting other people sick, what the hell's wrong with you? Stop it. Wearechange.shop. Get better, get well. Make sure you prevent your body from getting sick by getting the right supplements into your system. Do your own due diligence before doing that. Wearechange.shop anyway. Let's continue on with this Tim Dillon clip here, which again, I have a lot to say about.
Turned into like a bad reality show. And
is there showmanship? Yes. Is there fireworks? Yes. It's what Charlie kind of created. And Charlie was kind of good for doing that because otherwise it was stodgy and boring. Do I fault Charlie Kirk? Do I fault TPUSA for carrying on what he was doing? The laser shows, the lights, the fireworks, the showmanship aspect of it? No. Do I think some of it is maybe a little distasteful? I guess you could interpret it that way. I felt a little weird about that tent being there. Like, it was just weird, spooky vibes. Personally, for me, it's not my cup of tea, but I'm not here to tell people and lecture people about what they can and cannot do or what they think is right and not right.
And it's all of the fault of everyone, by the way. It's the fault of everyone speaking and everyone attending. And there's nobody that gets a...
What, you expect us just to go away? You expect Charlie's legacy to not be continued here? 30,000 people in attendance. The number one rallying, organizing, networking type of event that brings together all of the other content creators. People get to get their differences out. People are, for better or worse, but being able to sit down and say, yo, let's talk this out. And I've seen that happen a lot. It's a good thing. And I was happy I was able to meet all the content creators in the space that I was able to meet and talk and get to see and meet and look in their eyes and get to know. I like that. I think it's important for us not to just live constantly online, but to meet in real life. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually great. People should do it more instead of just hiding behind your little keyboard. Meet in real life. TPUSA facilitates that and does it in a way that is incredible. They did an incredible job.
Everything about this is weird and uncomfortable for everyone. And I'm not saying she killed her husband or knew about it or whatever. I'm saying the guy got shot 3 months ago, and she walks out to a pyrotechnic display, and then she goes, we're going to elect J.D. Vance. It's weird.
Now, again, why is he saying that? He's critical of J.D. Vance. I'm critical of J.D. Vance, too. It's all too good. It's like a layup. And I'm like, hold on. What's going on here? And I express my criticisms here, but to say that, again, I just feel like it's a little unwarranted.
That's where her head is at. It's difficult for many people to relate to. It's not relatable for people that talked about how Hollywood isn't relatable and Hollywood is out of touch. This looks a lot like Hollywood to most people. And to go out through a stream of fireworks and sparklers and stand there in a glittering pantsuit and talk about electing J.D. Vance 3 months after your husband was killed, many people feel that there is something off about that. And we're starting to see that political people are the exact same thing as the Hollywood elites that they all love to dunk on. And we all look at this.
I think he's just extrapolating a little bit too much personally. Now, again, some kernels of truth in there. Let's not deny that. Let's be real with ourselves here, right? Am I the biggest J.D. Vance supporter? No. They did come out and support him. Okay. They had a good relationship with Charlie, according to the Daily Mail. It was supposed to be J.D. Vance with Charlie Kirk as his VP in 2028, and they have a close personal relationship with them. Then after that, it was supposed to be Charlie Kirk president with Don Jr. as his vice president. That was allegedly the plan.
This is Megan Thee Stallion twerking at the Kamala rally.
Yeah, am I the biggest fan of these rappers and all this stuff? No. But again, Charlie Kirk was trying to do a big umbrella of a bunch of people, and he did utilize a lot of the showmanship. Granted, there's some negative aspects of it, but overall, it's a lot better than the kind of stodgy, suit-wearing, establishment-rich type of country club Republicans that were out of touch with their base and their reality. You want to criticize something? You criticize all of the old guard Republican, snooty, pinky out type of rich Republicans. Right here, you got something different, and I think this is where Tim Dillon misses the point.
This is deeply unsettling to a lot of people. It feels like you're being played. You feel it. It seems off. You feel like this is a coordinated and choreographed spectacle so that you are played. They want your money.
I think it's far beyond money. And again, I think Robert Barnes' criticism is good. The Quartering, who I was out there doing a lot of live shows with at TPUSA, says nobody commenting like this was actually even there. He's getting his opinion from X, pandering to the existing hate wave and acting like he's got some hot take. Sold out event, 30,000 people, smiling faces, packed breakout session, parties every night, fellowship, worship, and more. Yeah, absolutely agree with him. And then the Quartering adds on, certainly. Charlie Kirk would have wanted her just to fold up AmFest and sit at home and cry forever. You know, the company he dedicated his life and his legacy to? Yeah. I am sure his wife carrying on the legacy would seem weird to him. Get the frick out of here. Tim Pool. This is Riri. AmFest was plagued by infighting. It's not coordinated when people are getting into fights outside or at external events. And there was some infighting here. Sure. And that's what we kind of played in the beginning of this. Is this all orchestrated and organized? No. There's far more nuance, far more interesting conversations. Benny Johnson says, this is wrong. But if you're only consuming out-of-context clips from terminally online haters, I can understand how you'd get here. We love Tim, and I hereby invite Tim Dillon to the next America Fest to see it live. Maybe Tim can interview J.D. Vance and Nicki Minaj main stage. I would like to see that. And I like Tim Dillon. He's always the more kind of skeptical type of comedian that is able to provide more nuanced perspective and points that you usually don't see. And he usually thrives, and he usually does an incredible job when it comes to his analysis. But I think maybe he just didn't do his due diligence here on this particular moment in time, and that's okay. People make mistakes. No one's perfect. Still, overall, I think Tim Dillon is a net positive, especially when it comes to the commentary, the comedy, and the kind of reflection points that he provides, which usually are sadly missed, right? But this time I just disagree with him. Now, there was a lot of infighting. Harrison Smith says, reminder that all the TPUSA drama this weekend was started by Little Ben, an outsider not originally booked to even appear, who started the conference off by vilifying and insulting half of the other speakers and then the majority of the audience. Yeah, exactly. And I did a response to, I watched Ben Shapiro's speech there. I saw the energy in the room. It was about like 45% of the crowd. They're like, okay, yeah. But and the cheers were kind of dying out here. A lot of people were just kind of silent. I booed. I was like, boo! Boo! I got some boomers looking at you. You can see that on my Instagram feed. If you follow me at Luke Weir Change on Instagram, I was there. And I was like, boo, Ben, boo! That's pretty funny. You express yourself. Lots of people are too afraid to express yourself. But I walked around AmFest. You saw the huge crowds. You saw all the people. I feel so much better meeting, talking, getting support from all of you guys, from getting moral encouragement. And we definitely need more of that. We need more of these gatherings. We need more places where we actually meet in real life. Don't just stay terminally online. As again, lots of people are black-pilled. And again, I understand that. I think Michael Trippi made a very good point here, saying there's plenty of people who are moving away from politics altogether because they don't believe things can be fixed in a meaningful way, and that the corruption of the entire system makes desired changes virtually impossible to achieve. Yeah, blackpilling is at an all-time high. And the Grassroots, meeting, talking, addressing their grievances, getting it all out there, it's far more better of a constructive conversation to be done in person with everyone, rather than, of course, just kind of being chronically online and just... Overall, I saw a lot of craziness. I saw the Slapfest fight. I was there talking to Fresh when they allowed him back in. Luckily, they fixed that up. He was like, it's because I'm black. And I'm like, I don't think so. The TPUSA loves, promoting their content creators from all different walks of life there. And overall, nothing's going to be perfect, especially when you're doing 30,000 people, like a 30,000 huge stadium type of event here. It's huge. There's a lot of people, a lot of ridiculousness, And I still think TPUSA did a great job. And I hope they continue to do a great job. And I hope they continue to do these events. And I hope I get to come out to more of them. Because being able to be at these events, being able to hear these people, allowing kind of the Republican base to address the base, to have these type of conversations, it's interesting, it's good, and overall a net positive. Just you're there. Stop going there if you're sick. That's how important this event is to people. People are like sick. I'm like, oh, I need to come. I'm like, stop it. We are Change.shop. Take care of your health. Take care of your immune system. I want to be here if it wasn't for you guys watching, subscribing, clicking the notification button here on this brand new channel. It's doing really well. Can't thank you guys enough for that. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/LukeRudowski76.